Hope you guys are all ready for another drop down the galaxy hole with the absolutely stunning toy line Satyr Masters from Abyss! Satyr Masters from Abyss is a toy line that's quite annoying to get a hold of, and I was quite lucky to get as many of them as I did. And these three all gave me a hand for doing so. Way too literally. These three Satyr Masters, which all came from the same lot and are all missing a hand kind of strangely, were the only figures from this line I was able to find for a while. Then a seller from Mexico, I guess, just happened to come across a whole bunch of these unopened, so that's where I got all the carded ones from. And the body on some of the figures in this line might look quite amicable to you. So there's a bunch of silly characters in Satyr Masters, one even partly named Silly, but you might notice that they're missing a depiction of something you might expect from a line called Satyr Masters. Yes, there's no satyr in the line Satyr Masters, but hey, why would you expect that? So one of the things I of course absolutely adore about Satyr Masters is that they're from Abyss. Not the Abyss or anything, just Abyss. Guess I've been gazing too long into Abyss, and now Abyss will now gaze into me. But hey, don't get too silly cocky about it, Satyr Masters. We got an actual year on the back of the Satyr Masters card, which is kinda nice, which is 1990, copyright pending. Sure hope that happened. Wouldn't want anyone stealing these. Satyr Masters are fairly generous with the accessories, as these guys all come with 3 weapons each. In kind of classic Galaxy figure tradition, we have a line here talking about the articulation on the figures. With twistable arms, head, waist, and legs to present a desirous pose. Ooh, most desirous. Some other kind of odd aspects of this card back is just this design here, which makes it look more beaten up than it really is. I mean, a lot of this just kind of looks like the card's been scuffed up a lot, but this is a pattern that's on every single one of these cards. So these all have the product number 838 and were made in China. The Satyr Masters cards give us artwork of 3 of the characters in the line, well, with an asterisk around that bulldog character. And why does the Satyr Master logo have a skyline in behind it? Like, what does a city skyline have to do with satyrs? Then again, what does this toy line have to do with satyrs? Guess the Satyr Masters are depictions of people that you're pretty likely to run across in the city. Wait a second, Galaxy Warrior weapons, what? And we've got an even stronger connection to the Galaxy Hole with the Satyr Masters, as some of the characters in this line might look familiar to you if you remember the Galaxy Heroes. In fact, Reptilian and Saurian are exactly what these 2 characters were called on the rare named card backs of Galaxy Heroes. And the names of the Satyr Masters are that special combination of amazing and stupid. So let's go through the Satyr Masters roll call.
Reptilian.
Faction 2. Silly Cocky. You heard me. Shyly Honey Ram.
Saurian.
Watchful Alamo. Bolando. Cheeky Mamiya. Baronino.
Podleski.
Margarinka. Yeah, sad Ferguson. I want you guys to hear me on this. Sad Frogerson. Straight out of the package, some of these guys already managed to look quite dirty, so that's impressive, I guess, or not, I don't know. And that's some nice plastic overrun on your hands there, you stupid dirty owl. All your friends will want one, a stupid panda, with plastic overrun on his hands. And stupid panda is so nice, I got him twice. Or I guess it's Brandino or Baronino. That's what I should be calling them. Anyway, at least one nice thing about having two of this same figure is, well, these figures aren't really the same, are they? One of my stupid Panda Baronino figures has the unique to Satyr Masters body, well, at least as far as I know, with the tank top and shorts with knee pads. And the other one's got the Amicable Herculean style body, being shirtless with suspenders. And then there's a paint variation with these two, with my carded one having red eyes and the one that was loose with the Amicable Herculean body having black eyes. The two cheeky Mamias I ended up getting are different like this too, with the carded one having the Amicable Herculean style body and the loose one having the Satyr Masters style body. So you could probably find any character in the Satyr Masters line with these two body types. So this Masters of the Universe Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cash-in toy line was absolutely wonderful for having things like Silly, Cocky, and Shyly Horny Ram in it. So here we go, Silly Cocky meets Big Cock. I should probably censor that one. So the reuse of the Galaxy Warriors weapons in Satyr Masters is exactly how they were with Amicable Herculean. So we got those same Galaxy Warriors weapons that we all know and love, or maybe sick of at this point, all cast in a flat gray plastic, though there was some variation in Satyr Masters. In order to help the environment, the Satyr Masters would sometimes come with green accessories, and then there's a variation of that with a slightly more desaturated green. Now if you were sick of the Galaxy Warriors accessories, some of the Satyr Masters did come with a few different things, like a pistol, a machine gun, a dagger, and a long curved sword. Alright, now let's go into our Satyr Masters from Abyss, who might really be proving that Abyss is actually the galaxy hole, since these guys got galaxy hero heads. Alright, so here's at least the 4 characters with a direct connection to Satyr Masters Reptilian. We start off with Galaxy Warriors Sawhack, then we get Galaxy Fighters Cobra, then Galaxy Heroes Reptilian, and then Satyr Masters Reptilian. We got one less step here, since Iguana started off in Fighters. It's the Galaxy Fighters version of Iguana, then we got Galaxy Heroes Saurian, and then Satyr Masters Saurian. Then we got the Bolando line, sorta. We start with Galaxy Warriors Anubi, then we got Galaxy Fighters Anubi / Walf or whatever. Then we got Galaxy Heroes Wolfman, then we got the distortion of Galaxy Heroes Wolfman later, which finally leaves us with Satyr Masters Bolando, sort of. And then, of course, there's an asterisk by this weird Galaxy hero, since it's also possible this was a really botched attempt to represent Tiger Man in the Galaxy Heroes line. But I'll tell you that this Galaxy Heroes head sculpt does not really represent a tiger, much like it does not really represent a bulldog. This is rather strange for Satyr Masters, since every other drawing of their characters on the card back sort of looks like the toy, except Bolando. Like the other two Galaxy Heroes, those kind of look like the Galaxy Heroes heads they plopped on these figures, but not this one. At first I thought they just didn't put that Galaxy Hero Anubi Tiger Man whatever he is on the back of the Satyr Masters card, until I realized that he was supposed to be the figure for the Bulldog. So I'm glad that's one of the 3 characters they chose to showcase on the front of the card, one that's not really there. And it's also kind of interesting that while Fox Into is definitely wearing the Amicable Herculean style outfit, Bolando and Baronino are wearing outfits that are not in this line. It might be at one point there's supposed to be 2 other body types in Satyr Masters, one with this overalls type thing and then the one with the vest. So while those 2 body types never made it into production, there was a 3rd body type for Satyr Masters, and guess what? It's more Galaxy Hole nonsense! Unfortunately, I don't have one of these 3rd type of Satyr Masters, but I got some pictures I can show you. These ones have bootlegged Galaxy Warriors bodies, but they kind of look like Galaxy Heroes bodies, except with leg articulation added back in. Which is funny if they did use the Galaxy Heroes mold to make these because, they started from a line which did have leg articulation, then, eventually became these bootlegs that didn't, and then possibly had it added back on. These Galaxy body Satyr Masters were kind of like the cheaper versions of the Amicable Herculeans, which had those Devil Warrior bodies. All the bodies on these ones have a horribly mismatched to the head color, and the only accessory they come with is a belt, which is kind of weird since the Galaxy body mold already has a belt on it. And yes, you can stick the Amicable Herculeans Ninja Turtle shells on the Satyr Masters, though I think it fits, the original Amicable Herculean body type a bit better. But it's not like Satyr Masters are trying to cash in on TMNT like Amicable Herculeans, right? Anyway, there's a variation of Satyr Masters out there with a more blatant knockoff Ninja Turtle card back called Reptiles Warriors.
Oh, well?
The Reptiles Warriors must be even rarer than stupid Satyr Masters, as to date, this is the only one I've seen carded like this. And it's kind of interesting that the Watchful Alamo on that Reptiles Warriors card back seems to have a different plastic for its head than the one I have. That one looks like it's a soft rubbery head, where of course, all the ones I have are a hard solid plastic. I've seen a picture of a possible soft head Sad Froggerson out there as well. And speaking of their heads, it's kind of weird how all of them are cast in white flesh tone plastic. Like Reptilian and Saurian here, you think they would just, have green heads, but instead, no, it's just kind of sprayed green a bit. And mostly on the back of his head in Reptilian's case. And even characters like Baronino, who have no white flesh tone on their head's design, were still cast in that plastic and then just completely painted over. This was actually true of the Ninja Turtle heads in Amicable Herculeans as well, and I assume it's the same company that made Satyr Masters. Guess those guys just couldn't find other colored plastic, or either too lazy or cheap to get it. Guess they didn't think it mattered, they just got too silly cocky. That's quite the mouth on Silly Cocky too, isn't it? It's like going into his neck. The weird white splotches from Amicable Herculean returns in Satyr Masters, which is on the tank top on the Satyr Master body type, along with their logo, which is a heart? I mean, really, guys? A heart? That's what you want your weird, crude, anthropomorphic animals and weird Frankenstein's mummy character to be sporting? Hearts? And while we're on it, it is kind of weird how every character in this line is an anthropomorphic animal, except Cheeky Mamiya. Headbands? Where'd you guys get that idea? Some of you might be wondering, since some of the Satyr Masters are on Amicable Herculean bodies, if their heads pop off, and the answer is, I don't really think so. Their heads don't seem designed to pop off very nicely, and I'd probably just be breaking it if I did get the head off these guys. I don't get why, if they're using characters from Galaxy Heroes, why they didn't use the Yig head from that line, which, it's like a Minotaur, which is like a reverse Satyr kinda, so that's somewhere in the right area. Or they could have used this idiot who was actually called Satyr, though I guess that wouldn't fit the all animals and one mummy theme. And that's the ridiculous world of the Satyr Masters, a takeoff of the Amicable Herculeans deeper down into the galaxy hole and not a satyr in the bunch. Satyr Masters are, of course, about the same as Amicable Herculeans quality-wise. They are pretty solid for the most part, and both body types have articulation at the legs, waist, arms, wrists, and head. But not the ones with those stupid galaxy body types, but I don't have any of those, so whatever. The paint is fine for the most part, though some of the heads don't really match the bodies color-wise. And they really don't on the crappy version galaxy body ones. which usually seem to have the same mismatched body color, though I have seen one of the Donkey Kong wannabe with a different one. And that one looks extra crappy, so that might be an even further drop in the galaxy hole. And there is also a Baronino who looks a bit crappier, where they forgot to paint the black rings around his eyes. Now, where Bolando's concerned, I think they were originally gonna make a bulldog head for this character, but then they got lazy and just slapped on another Galaxy Hero head. But speaking of that, I am kinda glad to see these Galaxy Heroes return in this line. 6. I really like the odd cast of characters and the ridiculous names they gave a lot of them, with Silly Cocky, Shyly Horny Ram, and Sad Froggerson being my favorites. It's definitely a cash-in line that was trying at least a little to make these figures interesting. 9. It's a line called Satyr Masters, and it has no satyr in it. Maybe the actual satyr character never made it out of Abyss like the rest of these weirdos. And again, it's odd that these guys are all animal-based, except the mummy. 10. Obviously, I really dig the nonsense name of the line, and it's got some decent artwork of 2 of the characters actually in the line, and the one which is full of bull. The cards also got a confusing scuffed pattern and a city skyline. Maybe it's the city from Abyss. I'm really glad we got names for these characters, and such outlandish ones. It really adds a lot to this line, and we even got some nice drawings of the accessories on the back. 9. These figures, for the most part, look much better than the Amicable Herculeans from a character design aspect. The Satyr Masters would work pretty well as extra characters in both TMNT or Masters of the Universe. 7. And the Bootleg Zones overall is 9! It was pretty tough for me to find figures in this line, but I'm really glad I did. It's got some pretty great characters with highly amusing names.
I thought I was a master swordsman, but I cut my hand off. Looks like I got a little too silly cocky. Are you saying you cut your hand off as a joke about your silly name? Yeah. Anyway, we've got headbands on, so let's rip off the Ninja Turtles! Satyrs fight without honor! Neither of us are satyrs.
Hey, stop bringing up valid points, Podeski. We, the Cheeky Mamiya brothers, will join your little Ninja Turtles rip-off gang since we sorta got headbands too. Yeah, and I also shot off one of my hands because I'm an idiot. Pretty cool, huh?
No, not really.
Oh wow, so you guys are ripping off the Ninja Turtles. That's really great there. You know, if there's one thing this world needed, it was another Ninja Turtles ripoff. We don't have enough of those. You know, if there's one thing Sad Froggerson really strives for, it's originality.
Hey, you ain't original, you stupid frog.
Oh geez, I knew this day would come. Someone would point out that my body is stolen from you idiots. Well, you know what? Well, you know, shooting him really didn't prove my point at all, but, I'm Sad Froggerson.
Yeah, sorry, and don't look behind us, but I think our Galaxy Hero counterparts have found us. This is kinda awkward. I never thought they would find out we existed. I thought we Satyr Masters were flying under the radar. Oh, wow, really? I want to get Galaxy Hero Science autograph! I told you not to look, you idiot! Now we're gonna have to talk to them! So, we heard you two not only stole our heads, but you also stole our names! Not cool, bro! Yes, imagine getting ripped off by someone like that! Awkward!
Hey, no one's gonna care about the rest of you stupid non-Satyr Masters! Everyone's gonna want one of us! A stupid panda!
Just for your information, this other bear Nino does not represent my interests.
You so funny, bro.
I hate him so much.
I just want you all to know, I seen everything! I'm watchful Alamo! I've got nothing in my life besides watching other people! But I wear my baseball cap sideways, so that's cool, right? Let me please be a part of your group! Hey, if you guys are ripping off Ninja Turtles, I kind of feel like we should have been invited.
Oh, crap. I never thought the Amicable Herculeans would find out about our Ninja Turtle ripoff racket. Yeah, looks like you were silly cocky.
Well, I'm really glad that everyone showed up and said who they were. This didn't seem like an aimless sketch at all. No, this was one of the greatest sketches in Bootleg Zone's history. I'm Sad Froggerson.